Hey guys, it's Alexa with Blue Woods Design and Mixed Media Art School, and today's Monday prompt project is grungy. So we are creating all things grungy, and I create this portrait, and it is super grungified. So I am going to start with one of my favorite things when I want to do grungy or just having that textured grungy look is using book pages, and these are just old books that I happen to have. Some of them are more yellowed, some have like finer font and larger font, and I just like to mix it up because I think it just adds to the piece. And I'm going to put that down with my gel matte medium. And today I didn't have the biggest plan as I went into it, other than I knew I wanted to do a portrait, and I knew one of my favorite things to do for grungy is using book pages, as well as using my General's charcoal and extra soft, and then water soluble graphite. So, and of course it's like I use the 12B, the one that gives me the most pigment. So I am creating with that. The other thing I do for like grunge often is that I will take some sort of brown ink, and in this one I use my Jane Davenport mermaid markers, which is like I believe it's a watercolor ink. I have to check, but it's like a ink pen, if you will, brush pen that you squeeze and more ink comes out. So I use that and some water just to sort of go over top of these pages and add even more depth to the color. And then I actually wipe a lot of that back. So I kind of lay it on as a wash and then wipe it back. And that's one of the techniques that I really love to do, just to give, some more grunge. And it kind of highlights sometimes those little like torn edges of your paper and all of that stuff. And you'll see I put down some gesso, and sometimes it highlights the gesso too, because where the gesso is super dry and like it resists the ink where it soaks in other places. So just gives you a lot of visual interest to get your piece going. And what a great way to not have to look at a white page and think, what am I going to do here, right? Like it's already started, and all I really did was glue pages down. And okay, so then I decided to create a portrait, and I don't know, just with grungy, it can kind of go to where it feels like kind of, I don't want to say she seems sad, but a little bit. Yeah, she does seem sad. She does seem sad. She has like a tear coming from her eye, which was not planned. It was definitely a random drip that happened, but it totally felt appropriate. So anywho, I start by creating this portrait, but I thought it would be really cool to have like part of it be blocked off, so like masking it to start with. So I start with some washi tape to mask out a section of her face, and then I draw my face and everything, and then I peel that away, and I'm left with kind of a spot that doesn't have as much going on, right? Like it's a little bit, and I don't know, it just kind of felt like almost like it was like a window into her, like if you tore away the cover or the mask or something. I don't know, it just felt really kind of organic and beautiful to go with this super grungy girl. Then the other crazy part is that through tearing all these pages, I had this one little scrap of paper off to the side from one of these pages, and it said, and I'll have to look exactly, but it says beautiful creature who was caught or something like that. And I was like, oh, it just kind of fits, like with her having that part of her masked off, like, so I don't know, she just felt like she had a story for sure. And she felt wild and beautiful, but also sad. And so I kind of just loved that it all serendipitously came together. Like I said, I just found those words. I had been creating this before I even found the words, and then they were just sitting there as I was moving things around. I kind of noticed this little scrap, and I was like, hey, that would be like perfect for this. And as you can see, I'm kind of mapping in her face, and I And I actually am drawing on top of some of that washi tape just to kind of map in exactly where I want things. I don't do it fully, but just enough to get, make sure my eyes and all that are spaced out the right way. And like I said, because it's grungy, I am drawing and smushing around, getting all of those, like spreading out that charcoal, getting some grunge. The other thing is that my paper, while I do stop and dry it, I don't dry it as thoroughly as I should have, but what ends up happening is I kind of tear some of the paper at times, and it just kind of worked for what I was doing, right? Like it ended up creating more layers and more texture and interest, and I was cool with it. Definitely like not not good when your paper's ripping, but I didn't mind it because I knew what I was going for. So see right there, it kind of tears, and I'm like, you know what? Like, I don't care. Let's leave that. And I kind of tear off extra. So it kind of became this thing of like letting the whole thing show itself to me, like letting the piece come to life. And right there again, tear off that little piece of paper. And it just felt like those things were meant to happen in terms of creating what this final look would be. And you'll see, I start to build up her layers and stuff, and this is where I use my Stabilo All, and then I wet it, and that starts me on the then I'm like, oh, you know what I need? My water-soluble graphite. So then I get that out, and that even becomes more fun. And yeah, that's about it, you guys. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you're maybe inspired by it. And whether you create this exact girl, or maybe you just do that like masking over part of it, and then create a portrait, and when you pull that masking tape off, you maybe have some sort of phrasing that works for the girl you create, or whatever feels grungy to you. Let's just make some grungy goodness this week. Who doesn't love that? All right, you guys. I can't wait to see what you make. Please share in our Facebook group or on Instagram and tag us using Monday Prompt Project so that we can see what you're doing. We have a second video this week from resident artist Mary, and I will link her video below. And I just can't wait to see what you guys do. Have a good one, guys.